Here's the ground rules for fighting fair. Ground rule number 1, never compare. I'm talking about when you're in a fight and you're in an argument, you're in a conflict, never compare. You're just like your mom. Well, you're just like the dog. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not a big win. Number 2, ground rule number 2, avoid absolutes. You know this one, guys. You always, I'm always late. Every single time we've ever gone anywhere, I'm always late. Come on. You'll I'll never avoid absolutes at all costs. It provokes a hopelessness in the heart of the hearer. Ground rule number 3, no name calling. Keep your tongue under control and stay away from personal attacks. You can, in love, address a disappointment. You, in love, can address a behavior, but we don't name call. In other words, we're going to keep separate someone's identity from their behavior. Are you with me? Ground rule number 4, never challenge your spouse using money, intimacy, or the threat of divorce as leverage. Never manipulate your spouse. Ground rule number 5, never change lanes. What do I mean by that? You're losing an argument. You thought, well, that's not going well. Let me start a new, fresh argument. You can't do that. It's not fair. Ground rule number 6, never play the reporter. What do I mean by that? You know what reporters do. What do? They are masters in cutting off the person they're interviewing. What do you think about, well, when they just hit you again. You got to let the person talk. If you're asking a question, you got to let them finish. We don't play the reporter, right? We don't do that. That's not fair. You're not in the White House briefing room and you're questioning whoever is. No. We've got. If we ask a question, the ground rules are you've got to allow the answer. Ground rule number 7: drop the scorecard. Don't become the old scorekeeper. I'm not going to lose this one. No way. Do you remember what happened there? No, I'm gonna win this one. Drop the scorecard. Here's another one. Ground rule number 8, don't psychoanalyze. This was big for me. I'm getting real transparent here. The reason that you're acting this way is because your parents did this or your parents did that. I know what some of you guys say, well, the reason why you did that is because your diapers were on too tight as a kid. You know what I'm saying. Don't be a miniature shrink in your marriage. Don't do that. That has been a real fallacy. Well, the reason why you do that is, and the fact is she was just talking and I want to psychoanalyze everything. Don't do that. That doesn't produce intimacy in the relationship. All right, here's another one. You guys learn anything? 3 people. All right, you're under conviction. All of you campuses, I know you love this. Here we go. Ground rule number 9, don't play the historian. You know what a historian does? When we were married in year 2, you did this. I can't even remember year 2. Please don't play the historian, because if you go back to that, it defeats the person that's trying to make progress in the marriage. Ground rule number 10, that was a good one. Let me give myself a hand clap for that. That was a really good one. I'm trying to help you guys out. Here's another one. Ground rule number 10, never quit. A sad commentary on our generation is the fact that we do lack commitment. And people are not committed to much these days. And it's easy to throw in the towel. I do want to make 2 qualifications. Number 1, I know there's times in marriage where there's legitimate abuse and divorce that follows. I understand. Absolutely. I get it. And I also understand that listening to me, there's a high percentage of people that have been divorced, some remarried, and thank God for redemption, thank God for another chance, and there's no shame attached to it. But the high percentage of you will be married again. Let's enter in with our eyes open, truth aligned in our hearts, a heart towards God. Let's learn from mistakes, and let's not repeat that so that we can go and say, for better, for worse, till death do us part. In other words, at some point in time, we've got to get this thing right.